Hello everybody and welcome to Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV. My name is Oloyede and I still remain your favorite podcaster. Today I have Bigdemmy on this podcast, a man who is always on this podcast, but it's been a very long time before he made his debut. I also have Coach on this podcast, and then before I bring them on, I just want to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors on this podcast, from Better Life Stores to Chai Clothing to Wale Apps. You'll be seeing a lot of them coming on this podcast, and we also open to many sponsors. If you want to be part of this podcast, you can send a DM to us at Gold Rush Football Podcast on Instagram. Also send a mail to me at olanrewaju@gmail.com. Let me bring on the guys. I don't want to be the one talking. Let me start from Coach. Coach, welcome back to this podcast. The last time we were on this podcast, we were in our former studio. And now we are back we are in a new Porch studio right here. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Yeah. And Coach is an Arsenal fan. For those who don't know Coach, he's an Arsenal fan. And I call him Coach not because I just call him Coach. He's a coach of the RCCGF right here in Indianapolis, So he's a coach for you. So we'll be talking about some coaching terminologies right here on this podcast as the podcast continues. Let me bring on the man himself, the Soccer Arena Indie man. He's a host on Soccer Arena Indie. He goes by Bigdemmy. Arsenal in the blood, Arsenal in the vein, Arteta militant, Saka grandfather. Bigdemmy, how fun? How you doing?
Hey, Larry, I'm fine. Making a comeback and in a new studio, I can see, the church, the ministry is going to the permanent. It's
moving forward.
It's already at the permanent side right now. Right. I'm happy to be back.
Good to be back, guys. Thank you so much for coming. And let's just start. And we'll be starting from one place. We'll be starting with the biggest club competition in Europe, the UEFA Champions League. In last 2 weeks, we had the first round of games in the UEFA Champions League, and then we saw some games, we saw some teams. We are still trying to get used to the new league phase formats. But again, I believe after the first match of games, the first round of games, we've been trying to know how this thing will be working out. So I have my guys right here, and I just want them to talk about how they feel about the new format. Coach, how are you feeling with this new format? It's no more a group phase that we have A, B, C, D to, is it E or F, G or 4 teams? But now it's a league phase. Yeah. How are you feeling with this new format?
Well, I think it's becoming more interesting. And then, to me, I think there's a lot of advantages in it.
Okay.
It becomes more expanding. You now have 36 instead of the usual 24 that usually play the UEFA Champions League.
Right.
And then it allowed for smaller teams to come into the tournament. And for me, it's going to give chances to even the small team to also benefit from the revenue from the Champions League. And then, it's going to widen the fan scope, So there are a lot of things that is going to be of benefit to the football fans and then to the football world entirely. So it's good.
David?
Well, I must start by saying, to me, it's confusing as a football fan. We don't even know who is playing who, how is the structure how is it like, because it actually provides some teams with advantage. Whereby you play a team on your home soil, and you don't get to play that team on your own home soil.
Right.
Maybe you go away, just as in the case of Arsenal playing Atalanta away from home.
So literally, we're going to be having 4 teams. You're going to be having 4 home games and 4 away games.
4 home games and 4 away games. Yes.
And the team you are playing away, it's not going to be the same team you'll be playing at home.
Yeah. Yes. That's just how it is structured now.
At the playoff, you're going to play both home and away.
Yes. So when they talked about I think it's called the Swiss model, right?
The Swiss league.
It's okay. One advantage that I can think of right now is that I believe it has made the competition competitive, and I believe maybe it's high time there won't be any dominance from Real Madrid any longer, because you have a lot of teams, you don't even know who you are playing. Like when they gave out the structure, all the teams involved, it's not like you have a lesser opponent and you can have easier way to
Advantage.
get out of your group stage.
Yeah.
So imagine, look at what happened. Manchester City started their UEFA Champions League
against Inter Milan. Right.
And we could see how that played out 0-0.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe it has made the competition more competitive, no easier opponents.
Now, so with the new format, I saw some comments, you know, while we had our one of our co-hosts, you know, we've had this discussion in one of our previous episodes. So I saw some comments, you know, where people say the players will be tiring, so there's going to be a lot of injuries because it's now with additional matches. Unlike before, the matches are not that much, but now it's additional matches for the players. So there's going to be injuries, and we saw it a couple of weeks ago that players are coming out that they might go on strike, they might do this, they might do that. Coupled with the fact that there's going to be the Club World Cup next year. So don't you think all these things are just getting into? It's going to be the wear and tear will eventually come out, sir. Because that's a lot of matches for the players, which the players have been coming out to see. But again, the monetary aspect is there. But what do you feel? What do you think, sir?
Yeah, I quite agree with people that are complaining about it. That's fatigue on the part of the players. You know, because they have a lot of matches to play aside the UEFA Champions League. They got to play their national team. They call them for assignments. They play Carabao. They play the league match.
Their Club Cup competitions
FA
as well.
and all of that. So definitely,
leagues.
And leagues as well.
you know, so definitely there's going to be wear and tear on the part of the players. So, but however, you know, this is the first year. Maybe after the first year, second year, they might be getting used to it. And then that also means that teams have to get enough players. That's what it means. You need to get enough players there to, you know, to cover up all of these lapses that might likely come in.
By the way, if you are watching this, let me just tell you the two gentlemen, you know, from Coach to Demi, both of them are their coach. They are coaches right here. So Demi is a coach. Coach Oloyede and Coach Demi. So they both have a team. So we'll be talking about some as a coach, you know, how does this feel? You know, let's say, I mean, in the reality right now, you know, let's forget about these European competitions and the like. So when you have your team, you know, how do you prepare your team? What do you tell your players when they have, you know, I know it's something like that might have happened in this your line of coaching. Maybe you'll be having 2 matches in a week. How do you motivate your guys? You know, don't you see the tiring face from these guys, or are they always eager to play? Can you just share your experience with that?
Anyway, at our own level, we usually play 1 game in a week. But however, if it happens like that, you just have to encourage them. Many of these players, they do want to play ball. It's part of their...
So my question that makes me... The reason why I'm going into that was that, you know, Rodri came out before he got injured. He said he's tired, that the coaches, I mean, what's it called? The players might go on strike. You know, as a coach, when you hear that, what's going to be your reaction to the players?
Well, I think
because this is business as well.
Yeah, I think Rodri is trying to let me say he's trying to complain regarding the new format. So he has seen it all, looking at the pressure, you know, from a league going for national assignment, then the Carabao Cup and all of that. So that's the perspective he's looking at it, that there's going to be more pressure on them. Then injury, you know, can come up at any time. Just like he.
And by the way, he's injured now.
He's injured right now. So those are some of the things that he's saying, you know, as part of the, you know, the negative part of the new system. But however, like I said, I think players will get used to it.
We'll get adjust. Human beings, we tend to adjust to things. I mean, because it's new.
Yes,
that's why all these
you see complaints
and
all of that. Yeah.
All right, this is Gold Rush Report podcast on Gold Rush Report TV, and I'm still with my guys here, and we're enjoying ourselves. It's been a long time. I really miss them in the studio by my right and my left. You know, having them around me. I'm always happy when I have coach. When I have when I have a coach by my right and I have another coach on my left.
Thank you, Larry.
So, the Champions League. I don't want to talk about the teams that will be playing. I don't want to talk about some teams. I just want to focus on some key things right here. This is a new format. who do you think is going to win? This is too early to call. I understand perfectly. I understand. With this league, we've seen some leagues, they've played 6 games. Some have played 7. With the way things are, and with the first match you've seen in the Champions League, what do you think have this power? I mean, the powerhouse in this thing, or is it still going to be the big boys will still keep winning it, and the small boys will still be, like what we saw, what happened last year against Dortmund and Madrid? The power was too much. I mean, Madrid will always be Madrid. They got the winning, and do you still think it's still going to be the big boys still winning it? And who do you think? Which team are you rooting for? Of course, I know it's going to be. I don't want to. Let me just keep my mouth shut. Go ahead, Dini.
Well. When you say who do I think will win the competition,
right?
Yeah, if I want to be biased, I would say Arsenal anyway. So I want to win Champions League. I want to celebrate the cup victory. But looking at the teams involved right now, you have the bigger names of European football,
right?
And you can't take that away from the defending champion.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to be saying favorite, I will put them first.
And they have the best player in the world.
They have all the arsenals that can make them win the title.
Right.
Also Manchester City, they are stronghold, and we should it's going to be between Real Madrid, Manchester City, and maybe I wouldn't put Juventus right there right now. No disrespect to them, I think they are just they are just coming back. They've not been in the UCL for
and they have a new coach, Thiago Motta.
So right now, to answer your question, experience matters.
Really?
And if you want to go based on experience, I'll give it to either Real Madrid or Manchester City.
Why should they always be Manchester City and Real Madrid, coach?
Well, it's because of the financial.
When are we going to see underdogs? So we have one of our co-hosts that came on this podcast. He talked about underdogs, that this might be an opportunity for the underdogs to just. I mean, we want to see new faces. For the past 5 years, it's been Real Madrid. It's been real. Is it Real Madrid or Liverpool? I mean, it's the big boys. The big boys have been winning this Champions League for the past 5-6 years. It's not out of them, except we had an argument talking about the time when Chelsea won it. We tried to classify them too as yes, they are also the big powerhouse also in the league. But when are we going to see the underdogs doing something in this Champions League?
Yeah, you can only see that maybe once in about 10 years.
So the rich will keep getting richer.
Because you need players.
You need money,
and for you to get those kind of players to win,
you need a large squad.
Yes, you need money. Actually, that's one of the reasons for the new format. Just to encourage the smaller teams, because they're going to get more revenue from the UEFA Champions League.
All right, let's talk about some few games that will be coming up this week for the Champions League. I'll be starting with your favorite team, the club of your life, Arsenal. Arsenal will be playing at the Emirates against Paris Saint-Germain. Luis Enrique is going to be a PSG without Kylian Mbappe. A totally different team against Arteta boys. Who's going to take this first? I mean, who's going to Arsenal PSG? What's your thoughts? What should we be expecting from the Gunners?
As a Gunners fan, we shouldn't be expecting nothing less than victory. 3 points and with a lot of goals. No disrespect to the opponents. They have to come to the Emirates. Right now, Emirates Stadium is becoming a fortress. You cannot just come there and put 2 goals past us, or maybe 3 goals. So I expect us, we are playing a PSG that they don't have Kylian Mbappe any longer. We know the effect of
and
Mbappe.
And they concede goals like baskets these days.
Well, I have not been watching their leagues anyway, but I can only believe in my team.
Even your team that you coach right here in Indianapolis will score against PSG.
If we put our act together, why not? Then so Arsenal PSG, we should be expecting nothing less than victory. The team is gelling, and Arteta is doing wonderfully well with the squad, and I believe we have winners mentality in the squad. We have players that can actually match up to PSG's strength. So I don't see PSG posing us a problem at the Emirates Stadium.
3 points at the Emirates,
very vital. So we're getting it.
So don't you think PSG will come up with, because this is a new league format, and then you just have to go there to win. If you can't get a victory at the Emirates, it's going to leave them. They struggle. PSG themselves struggled against Girona, their first game against Girona. Meanwhile, I understand Arsenal need to win this game. Don't you think there's going to be a threat?
I don't see threat. I don't see any threat. Arsenal is going to win.
Arsenal is going to win.
Yeah.
Confident
Arsenal
is going to win.
Arsenal is going to win.
All right, guys.
You know, we have the squad right now.
And you guys are...
The winning mentality is there for us. So we're going to win. Sorry, let me take you back to where you said who is likely to win the Champions League.
Yes.
We shouldn't forget Bayern Munich.
With Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, it's a very strong team. And they are doing well. They are topping right now.
All right, guys. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back.
So, welcome back from our commercial break. So, Mazi, coach, it's another week of our Champions League. Tuesday, I would like to touch base on the Barcelona versus Young Boys on Tuesday. Mazi, what's going to happen? Another loss or draw for Barcelona?
I mean, just going by the fact that, you know, Barcelona, we have a lot of injuries in the team, a lot of La Masia players making their debut. I still think it's a 3-point for Barcelona. Young Boys is not a team to be too worried about. They might cause us problems, but it's a 3 points. It's going to be a tight game, a difficult game. We have, you know, Erik, who is the only holding midfielder right now in the team. He's on a red card, so we have to think out something. Maybe Casado plays in that position. But yeah, 3 points. We have enough experience in the team to at least, you know, topple a Young Boys.
So to me, it just seems like you are disrespecting your opponent, anyways, because we've seen Young Boys maybe difficult to beat away from home. Like maybe in their past appearance at the tournament, I think they've played maybe
Chelsea?
Manchester United or which team, and they I think they won away from home.
Yeah.
But with the way Barcelona is right now, Barcelona lost their league game 4-2, and they lost against FC Monaco in the first game of the new UCL format. So where are you getting your confidence
well,
from?
I already mentioned that, you know, we are not having a great, you know, few weeks. Don't forget we started with 7 straight wins, right? But with the injury in the team, which I already mentioned, a lot of injuries in the team, especially in key positions like defensive midfield areas. You know, it's going to be difficult. No disrespect. I mentioned that I didn't say it was going to be a walkover. I said it was going to be difficult, but we do have enough experience in the team to be able to cope with Young Boys. We are talking about Barcelona here. Barcelona still, regardless of what's going on, you know, we still have one of the best football institutions in Europe. So Young Boys should be a difficult game. Like I said, no disrespect to them, but Barcelona, you know, with the heritage, with the culture, with the institution, we should get a 3 points.
How about if they take advantage of your shortfall?
I mean, it will be a surprise. It will be a surprise to me, but nothing is impossible in football. But I mean, just me giving my own opinion, it's a 3 points for Barcelona.
Or if I may ask you, what do you think?
I mean, it's the same thing when Bigdemmy said, you know, PSG 3 points. It's the same thing.
But we are in a good standing. We are in a good standing than Barcelona right now.
PSG is also a bigger club than Young Boys. So if you're having confidence that you're going to look at what PSG did in their game. Yeah, Dracola, what's his name, is on fire. Even if there's no Mbappe, you still have problems that you have to deal with. You know, Luis Enrique is not a you know, Yahoo manager. Let me put it like that. He's a very experienced manager. He has won the Champions League. He has won a treble. He's bringing his boys to the Emirates. So what gives you the confidence?
But you know, we've met 4 times. And they've not had any victory against Arsenal. So that's where my confidence is coming from. And coming off the back that they are coming to the Emirates. You know, right now, Emirates, any team coming to the Emirates,
I think your away record is actually better than your home record. In Emirates, your away record is way better.
That is Emirates. That is in EPL.
I mean, if you put everything in context. In the Emirates, it seems Arsenal is always shaky. Every time they fall or they falter, it has always been in the Emirates. At the Emirates, we can look back at Southampton. We can look back at Aston Villa. You can go back, you know. So it's not
happens to every team.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I mean, when you say it's a fortress,
Yeah, it is a fortress.
It is not a fortress because even Leicester City last week were on the verge of running away with
that's
the
a
victory.
verge, but not.
I mean, so it's not.
Did it happen?
But look at your away record.
If
So if I'll be worried,
our away record this year, we've won out of 12. We won 10.
that's what I'm
We drew
saying.
2.
Your away record is better than your
Yeah,
home record.
yeah,
So I'll
I
be
understand.
worried
No
about my
doubt.
home games.
Yeah.
If I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll be more worried about my home games.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't see PSG coming and taking 3 points away from us anyway. And we know what's at stake. We can't be, we drew our first game, and our second game we have to bounce back. And I think the mentality will be right from the kickoff. We are winning this.
Okay.
What could be your scoreline between the
Barcelona Young Boys.
young boys? Yeah.
I will go for a 3-1. 3-1 Barcelona. For PSG and Arsenal, I know
you cannot give us victory anyway.
I'll go for a draw. I'll go for a draw. I'll go for a draw.
Would that be
A
comfortable for you?
draw. I mean, yeah, I'll go for a draw. I'll go for maybe a 1-1 draw.
Looking at, I think we've
gonna
dealt
win.
too much on Tuesday's fixtures. There's one fixtures on Wednesday that I want us to touch base on. Is it going to be? We have PSG. No, sorry. We have Bayern Munich playing
Villa.
Aston Villa. Yeah. Aston Villa is going to be at home, right?
Right.
And what do you think is going to happen? Return of company to the English soil.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting match
match.
because you're talking about an inexperienced Vincent Kompany as a coach. This is his first time in the Champions League, right? So there's going to be a lot of inexperience. And then you're talking of, he's coming with a very experienced Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich is a traditional winner of the Champions League. And then you're talking about a very tactical, very experienced coach.
Who has won a lot of
European. He knows how to grind results.
Europa Cups, yeah.
Exactly. He knows how to grind results. So that's going to be an interesting one. So if you're looking at it from a manager perspective, I think Emery might outsmart him. But if you're looking at it from a player perspective, I think Bayern have enough players to do the job.
Damage,
so
yeah.
It's an interesting one. I don't know where to go on that.
So, but company. Like you said something, was it this week that you started, linking companies, good results to Pep Guardiola.
He's not linking.
No, I'm not. There's a place I'm going with that.
Okay.
So I think, don't you have confidence that with what he has learned from Pep Guardiola, he can use that to outsmart Unai Emery?
Unai Emery is the king of dark arts. Defensive football, right? And
I thought you guys said it's Arsenal now.
Arsenal is getting there. As the last 2 games, you look at. No, okay, we'll get to that though. But let's keep to this. Emery, right? I know he's going to go very defensive, very tactical, very and company. The link to Pep Guardiola is this all-attacking football. All-attacking football, not too much concern about the defense, right? So company has a weakness. He has been winning games 9-0, 9-2, 9, but is all attack going to win you the Champions League?
But if you ask me, I think Bayern Munich is going to win against Aston Villa. I don't see draw. Yeah, Emery is an experienced coach, but however, because of the caliber of players that Bayern Munich is going to parade on that day, it gives them edge over
free-flowing attacking football versus.
And
that man is a thinker, though. He might pick them apart, or he might pick some weaknesses in that team and exploit it.
And looking at
Emery, yeah,
I don't see that happening.
And looking at their form,
I know Aston Villa is a very good team too, but I don't see that happening. Bayern is coming out to win, and then with the experience of company, even in Champions League itself, he's played in Champions League for a while before he retired as a player, so he's going to have advantage too. He has experience. So
but looking at the forms of both teams actually played draw this weekend. Aston Villa away to Ipswich, they played 2-2, and also Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen, they play 1-1. So both of them, I think they might want to bounce back, but I'll give it to Aston Villa based on the fact that they are a tough team to beat on their home soil, and Emery, I want to give it to Emery.
Recall recently, Arsenal won them in that same stadium.
Well, we played the same league.
And again,
we played the same league.
Yeah.
And based on the fact that
And if you look at that Arsenal game, it's not like they play badly.
they didn't play badly.
They were very good. They were
But
very
they
good.
didn't just take their
Ryan made,
chances.
Ryan made some
But they
excellent
lost.
saves.
They lost.
They
The
lost.
important
but-
thing is that they lost at the end of 90
You know,
minutes.
I like to.
I
So,
know,
the point is
but
that
you have they lost.
Bayern
but
too
let's
is going to
give them.
play.
You know what?
You're
What me I
gonna
like
play
to
good
do
game.
sometimes is like I'll use City as an example because I watch City a lot. When I hardly see City play a bad game, so when City draw or lose, I know that it's not because they didn't play well. I know that the next game, you know, nothing is missing. It's just one of those, you know, one of those bad
So
days.
is
And all
Aston
that.
Villa in that level? They are not.
No, I mean in that Arsenal game, they were really on it. Like
No, don't use Arsenal game alone. I'm only trying to let you know that that same stadium, they considered 2 goals against Arsenal. So they lost. So in the same vein, they can also lose against Bayern.
Munich.
That's what I'm
Well,
letting you
if
know.
if
because
you want
Bayern
to
is a very
measure-
strong team
If
at the
you want to
moment.
measure both teams based on experiences,
Yeah.
we're gonna give it to Bayern.
Yeah.
But anything can happen.
Yeah, I do agree.
It's Emery,
I'm happy
it's
about-
Aston Villa.
But however, I will still give it to Bayern.
Okay,
Anytime.
well, to me, they can be an upset.
Yeah,
from
it
Aston
could be,
Villa.
but I am giving Bayern 70%, then Aston Villa 30%.
So Liverpool, right? Liverpool, new manager and a slot. You know, they've been good. They're topping the English Premiership. They are, you know, being tightly followed by Manchester City, and then you have Arsenal, you have Chelsea on their trail. But let's look at the Champions League. Liverpool is playing Bologna. I have a Liverpool man, Oloyede. What do you think? How do you think Liverpool is going to, you know, square up Bologna in that game?
I think it's going to be an high defeat to. It's going to be a very high scoring game from Liverpool because Bologna is coming to our fortress Anfield, and you know nobody comes to Anfield and don't taste the power of Anfield. So I don't think Bologna is going to stand a chance. No disrespect to them, but I don't think they are going to stand any
actually
chance.
disrespected. You actually disrespected. What do you think, though?
Well, if it was Bologna coached by Thiago Motta from last season, I think maybe they can cause an upset. But after that very nice season they had last season, you know, they started selling players. They gave us Calafiori, you know, and the coach moved on to Juventus. So this season, you know, when it's Champions League nights at Anfield, nobody goes there with any prediction.
But don't you think
that's
that's very unfair? Like a coach qualifies a team to the Champions League, and before you know it, all these big powerhouses in Europe are, you know, ripping their players apart. I don't think that's fair.
So let me say this, and sorry to cut you short. Anyways, for Bologna, I felt Thiago Motta as the coach left to Juventus, and those players were like, okay, this is the coach that put us apart and put us together and made us have this wonderful season. And the coach left to Juventus, and players like Joshua Zirkzee, Orobosa, a Man United team is calling for you. That's a big club.
But you know, Alonso was also in the same boat. You know, but he chose to stand by his team. He chose to, I took you guys this far, I'm not going to leave you at this point in time. Don't you think some coaches should have that kind of integrity to say, okay, if I've brought you this far, we are now in the Champions League, I have quality players like Calafiori and all these in my ranks. You know, let's Coach Demi, if you're a coach, you've done this great job at Bologna, everybody's looking at you. Don't you think it's an opportunity for you to, you know, extend that respect? You know, do you think is to take the easy route, go to a bigger team? You know, what do you think?
So I have to evaluate myself. That is this season a fluke season or not a fluke season? And after having a wonderful season, you know, I have to sit with the board and see the project ahead. If the project ahead, because normally before the season ends, that the season they had a wonderful season, it might just be a one-off. Will it repeat itself again?
Yes.
Now, me as a coach, I might want to evaluate what's going to happen in the future. Because if the next season starts and I started off woefully, I'll get fired. Then my resume that I've taken upward comes down. So when I do my own analysis about myself, about what's going to happen in the next couple of seasons, bro, I want to
So
jump ship
all
to
in
another team.
all, we are saying that Liverpool is going to, you know, walk over Bologna because they've lost all this quality. Basically, they've lost some of their best players. They've lost, the coach that brought them there. So Bologna, where do you see them after all the group stage? Do you think they are going to progress, looking at the group they are playing in, or do you think that this is going to be their downfall?
I think it's going to be their downfall because earlier you were talking about the coach moving and all that. So one thing I wanted to chip in on that part is, for Xabi Alonso, it was a different case. He won the league and he did a double. And Xabi Alonso, the jobs that was calling for him was a Liverpool job.
He had Madrid, I think.
Yeah, so you have a Liverpool job and you have a Madrid job. Maybe.
So not like he had a Madrid job. Madrid was looking at if Ancelotti stepped down, they have a shot.
If Ancelotti goes to Brazil,
yes. So he has a shot.
But for the Liverpool job, I would not expect him to take that job.
Why? Because
the expectation in England is too much.
How about Arteta leaving Manchester City and coming to Arsenal?
So now, what they give Arteta, the patience, the everything, you don't know what's on the table coming from. You don't know what's on the table for you coming to that team. And this is a Liverpool, a team you are becoming, a team that you've played there, you were once their legend. You don't want to rubbish yourself, you don't want to rubbish the name. And you see how the Bayern Leverkusen, that your team is still intact, no player left. And
well, I know, from what you are saying, if Alonso had left to any team, a lot of his players too would leave, because so many people would say, oh, I believed in this coach, I don't know who's coming in, so we can leave. So I think Thiago Motta, he made his decision. I can't judge him for what he did, but it's just an interesting topic to look at and say, okay, after bringing Bologna this far and abandoning them, is it helping them in any, in their cause, which I don't think it will. They might just end up being one of the victims or one of the early dropouts in the Champions League.
Yeah. I don't think they are going to even make the playoffs. I don't think they are going to make the playoff. It's just like it's one of the big things that you just have to consider. What if the coach gets sacked before the season ends? What if he didn't do well and he gets sacked?
Like I said, if you have a wonderful season as a coach that nobody gave you chance, and a big team like Juventus, AC Milan comes for you, I don't think that coach should be, sorry to use this word, stupid to stay back, So, because no loyalty in football, man.
No loyalty, yeah.
So looking at these fixtures now, let me run down some fixtures that we are looking at. We are looking at Leipzig Juventus. That's going to be a decent game.
Yes, it's going to be a decent game.
Yeah.
I think Juventus might take that.
You think?
I think they might take that because Juventus have been one week on, 1 week off in the league and all that, because I followed them back to back, and first game in the Champions League, they just went straight to the business. They took their 3 points and 3 goals. Yeah. That's it. So I think this Leipzig might just be a match they'll just go and just get maybe 1-0 or 2-0. They've done their business.
I want to disagree with you on that, because Leipzig, since they came up, they've not been playing so bad, and they've been doing their job very well. And they've had victories against the like of Manchester City in the past in this tournament. Yeah. So I don't see Juventus just going there and walking over them.
So we also have the Atletico Madrid Benfica game. That's
a tricky
game.
Who is going to be at home? Atletico Madrid.
Benfica seems to be at home. Benfica is at home to Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid have not clicked this season per se.
Yeah, but for Benfica, I wonder those teams, like last Champions League, I expected Benfica to do more against Atletico Madrid, but they just threw away what they could what they could really fight for. And I noticed those kind of things, like experience will call in this kind of match now. The experience from the coach, the experience from some of the players will tell. But I think Atletico should have this. I think they should have this.
Yeah. So looking at these games, do you honestly feel like this addition to the Champions League has helped it? Because I'm seeing some games that, I don't know if football fans will want to sit down to watch games like this, because of the new introduction of smaller teams. We have teams from Sweden, some of the teams that, like Manchester City is playing. Who is Manchester City playing? Manchester City is playing a weird team. I don't even remember.
They are playing against Slovan Bratislava or something.
Yeah, Slovan Bratislava. Yeah, you know. So with all this inclusion of the smaller teams, do you think it's actually helping the Champions League?
So for me, I think I like this new format.
Okay.
I like this new format, and
why do you like the new format?
I like it because it's a marathon format. It's not somebody. So now I will go back to what Arsene Wenger said one time. Liverpool were not doing their business in the league, but they were doing the business in Champions League because of the home advantage. And there were some matches like that. The home advantage played a part. But right now, it's just like you coming to Bernabeu and having a feeling you want to take 3 points. Almost a difficult game for you. And it's just like you coming to a Liverpool game, even when you are even winning you've won them from away, you're coming to their home. I think it's going to be a difficult game. And the reason why I like this new format is it's a marathon format. And I want big teams to clash. Like we are going to see Arsenal and PSG. We are going to see Aston Villa and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich will taste what Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City are tasting in the league. You get that kind of thing. We also the teams from Italian league, they will taste what Bayern Leverkusen are facing in Leipzig.
But when you have like 8 people qualifying from each group, don't you think that some
Not
teams
from each group? Like I think the first 8 qualify, they book automatic qualification to the next round.
Yeah.
While the other eight
to play
playoff.
The other teams below,
It's the first time we are seeing this format, so we don't know what to expect. But with all the many qualifiers, don't you think some of those bigger teams will feel like, oh, okay, even if I'm going away, I can play less in this game, because I still have these other games that I can see.
So
that
if you play less going away,
I don't think so.
If you play less going away, what's the assurance coming to your home you take the win?
So
no, what I mean is, like, for instance, Manchester City Inter, right? When Manchester City know they are going to play Slava Brag and Slava Lomia and all these other people, they might say, okay, let's play this Inter game. Let's not kill ourselves over this Inter game, because we still have like 6 games with some lowly rated sides.
Yeah.
Like, so they might think in that direction. Don't you think so?
Well, I don't think so, because in this new format, like, I want to touch base on what you said. I actually agree with you on that. Like, we want to see 2 big teams test themselves.
Yeah.
So when Larry was here with us, I said the format is a competitive format.
Yes.
I want to see Bayern Munich face Real Madrid right away.
But they are not in the same. They don't put them in the same basket anyway.
So
like, they already split them.
So
would you have thought that Manchester City would begin their campaign playing Inter Milan in this?
Yeah,
format?
because even in the other formats, right? Like, they always group them like the elites. At least the first basket will be in different pot. Then the other ones, maybe like the Inters, So you still have tough games in the other ones. The other ones you still see for tough games in each group. It's not like all the big teams. But even in this one too, they still see them and they pot them and they put them in different. So like Arsenal's group, when I saw Arsenal's group, I felt like Arsenal.
We are not in any group.
Yeah,
like
the teams you're gonna play.
You felt like Arsenal was.
I felt like Arsenal was like the better team.
No,
in all of the group. So let's look at Arsenal's group.
They were not the better team, because if they were the better team, they could have took their 3 points against Atlanta. Now they are going to play. Now they are going to play a PSG. And which, me in the back of my mind, I feel is going to be a draw match.
Alright, this is Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV, and I'm still here with my guys, and also Mazi is joining us right here. We have some questions from the fans, so I would like us to just talk about it. I have a question here. He says, I don't know who's going to take that first. He says, how long do you guys think Erik Ten Hag will last with Manchester United? How long do you guys think? At the weekend, they lost to Tottenham 3-0.
I think he should have gone. Honestly, I think he should have been gone since last year. So he's on bonus time for me right now. I mean, if I hear that he's sacked tomorrow, I won't be surprised, because it's not just the performance on the pitch, but what he says. What he says is ridiculous sometimes. He tells you that Manchester United are playing better than, or they are playing like Manchester City, or he will tell you that this, statistics wise, they are the best team in the league. Like it doesn't seem to understand the problem, and that's the problem for me.
To me, I don't think he knows what he's doing with his squad. Like you said, Mazi, he should have gone. He should have gone because he won the FA Cup, and the INEOS guy said, okay, let's give him a chance. They even went further to offer him another 1-year extension.
Yeah, it was triggered on his contract. I mean, it wasn't an extension. On his contract which is signed, you can trigger that 1 year if the performance. So I think they also went.
But did he have that good performance last year? Just because you won Manchester City in the FA Cup, then they gave him that.
I think he was crying a lot about his injuries, right? So he was telling INEOS that injuries are the reason why he's not performing well, and if he has a full team, he was going to perform well. But if you look at the way Manchester United play, if you look at some teams they lose at home to maybe the smaller teams. No disrespect, but to the Crystal Palaces, and Crystal Palace will run you over as if they are playing a Division 2 side and things like that. Those excuses are not supposed to be there for teams like that. It's only when you're playing the Real Madrid, the Liverpools, or maybe 1 or 2 injuries we might listen to you, but not when you're playing Sheffield United and you tell us that injuries are the reason why you're not getting good results, and these people are beating you 3-0, 4-0, 3-1, at Old Trafford. So his cry got to them. They said, okay, it's injury, let's give you 1 more year. You want something, but I think that was a bad decision in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. I in one of our groups, I said something. I said, if Erik ten Hag should be back after the international break, then that means this INEOS, they don't know what they are doing. Because I don't think this man will be back after the international break. Let's look at the games that we'll be playing. The next match is going to be playing Aston Villa. Good evening, everybody. It's going to be playing away from home.
Yeah.
How is he going to take a point there? He needs the maximum 3 points. He has a game in the Europa League. Who is he going to play? Another tough opponent. He needs 3 points. He needs to start winning, or else I don't think Erik ten Hag is going to come back after the international, because there is international break in 2-3 weeks time. If
He's already lost 3 games.
You understand? So, and this is I feel at a point I have this surge and this thinking about Erik ten Hag, that the players they need to the players which he had, the injuries as well, that let's give him more time. But right now I don't think it's long due. He just have to leave right now. I don't think, because this is not the Manchester United we know.
There are some Manchester United fans that will actually tell you that they have an agenda against him, that the English media don't support him.
I mean,
and things like that.
Let's just agree that there's an agenda against him. Even you have to show, if you are giving us results, the result on the pitch, if it's coming out clear, then no one is going to be on your ass. But on and off the pitch, Erik ten Hag hasn't been doing the right thing. His decision making is poor. His press conference
management is a problem.
It's the problem
he
as well.
He has broken all the bad.
We understand the fact that he won 2 trophies for Manchester United, and of course, what are the trophies? He won the Carabao Cup and he won the FA Cup.
Let the Manchester United fans be clouded just because he won those 2 cups. But to me, if I was a Manchester United fan, I would not want to see Erik ten Hag in the dugout for my next game.
I believe the Manchester United fan their eyes have been clear now. They know
you went away to Crystal Palace.
Right.
Sorry, Larry. You went away to Crystal Palace. You drew. You in your next European game against FC20, you drew 1-1, and that team they could have won Man U.
And on Sunday United. They had this
against Tottenham
again, a very disgraceful performance. Even no fight, no hunger, nothing. It was just flat.
Before the red card, Spurs could have been leading by 3 goals margin.
And the Spurs that they are everywhere. So risky playing from the back.
They don't know how to do anything on the pitch.
Spurs don't know how to defend. They believe in attack. Manchester United could not use that. They can't take that advantage. Anyways, guys, let's just move on to Manchester United. And the fans, I believe their fans they are cleared on high, like I used to say. They are cleared on high. All right, guys, there's this question again. Will it be a failure if Real Madrid don't win the league? We see that Barcelona is on top of the league right now, and meanwhile, they lost at the weekend, the first defeat for Hansi Flick in La Liga. And of course, Real Madrid have Kylian Mbappe. So is it going to be a big failure with Kylian Mbappe, with Vinicius, with Rodrigo?
They should not
is
try
it going to be a big failure for them if they don't win the La Liga?
They should not try it. They don't win La Liga. They should not try it though.
So they must win.
They've already won. If they don't win, Wala go day. Why would they say they will win the league? As the first of all, you are playing La Masia FC right now.
Right.
So you are playing with La Masia FC. So we don't want to hear Real Madrid do not win league because they won the league before the league started. So,
but why are you saying they are playing against La Masia FC?
No, I'm just being sarcastic. That's the same.
I know
but that's the same thing Real Madrid fans were telling us.
That what?
That the league is over.
Because you guys are playing with your academy
because
players.
they have the best players. They have the best players in the world.
They just won the Champions League. They now topped
They
it
have the
off.
same squad.
Nobody left. They now topped it off with Kylian Mbappe again.
So why won't they win the league?
So
they must win the league.
They have to win.
Well, league is a marathon.
Not for Real Madrid in this scenario. We are talking about a Barcelona that is just. Come on. They must win the league.
Barcelona have no right to win the league.
But you guys are Barcelona fans and you know how to tackle yourself. So I'll let you guys say your
no, that's just
you
need to see the ambience before Kylian Mbappe arrived in Madrid. You know, it was like
no pressure.
No. Other than that, I mean, like their fans on social media. They were like, it's over. What do we want to play? Waiting, So
I mean, Barcelona right now on top of the log is something that is unexpected. Nobody thought Barcelona would be on top of the log right now. We thought it's going to be maybe the 6th, 7th, 8th position right now. But again, being on top of the log, we know it's a long. It's going to be a marathon.
It's a long journey.
It's a long journey. Madrid will come up. But again, if Real Madrid don't win the league, it's going to be a big failure.
It's going to be a big failure because they waited for Mbappe for how many years, and he eventually came.
Right.
I believe right now that Mbappe is with them,
they should
be seen on top of the league.
All right, guys.
But we kept warning them though that blending a team is not easy. It's not by buying, but they didn't want to hear. They were like, it's over. Okay.
But
shout out to the Real Madrid fans.
Also, there were this time that you guys added players, and you guys were still woeful on.
But we won the league though.
When
we added the players, when we gave Xavi an assignment, win the league. And
well, he delivered when Real Madrid was not.
There was not anything. No, they had Benzema. They just won the Champions League. They had the best player in the world. So don't give excuses for Real Madrid. We won the league. Full stop.
All right. The final question on this podcast today, guys. I'll give Mazi. I know Mazi is ready to take this one. You have the floor to just answer this question to the best of your knowledge and express it clearly and let them know. Is this a must-win season for Mikel Arteta when it comes to either winning the PL or the Champions League?
If I'm an Arteta, right, my resignation letter is on the table, bro. Like if I don't win a title, I'm resigning. I have to have integrity. You can't come to a team for 5 years and be telling us about almost.
With a lot of money.
And be telling us about almost, bro. Like, I'm sick and tired of the almost and the excuses and this and that. Now you have a Mikel Moreno, you have Jesus, all the angels that Pep Guardiola used to win the Champions League are in your squad. We have Zinchenko, Let me finish.
You have
because you know Arsenal fans at a point they were saying, "Oh, it's money, it's players, right?" So now you have Zinchenko, you have Gabriel Jesus,
Calafori.
You have Sterling,
Timber.
You have Calafori, you have Timber,
Havertz.
you have players everywhere, bro. There's no excuse. If Arsenal fans are willing to take excuses, I know they love excuses. They love sympathy. They love, he tried it. Last minute it was one goal that hits the bar, bro.
Or it was the referee that.
His resignation. He should not even wait for them to fire him. His resignation should just be waiting on the table. Sign it.
I don't think Bigdemmy will agree to that because this Arsenal team, there's belief, there's hope. We saw what they play. I mean, we've been seeing them on the pitch. I mean, it's entertaining football. I don't think if Arteta don't win either the league or the Champions League,
is it Mourinho was fired? At the peak of his prowess, he was fired in Madrid. He was winning league. He was winning everything, bro. You have to have ambition. Arteta is not the only person in this life.
Bigdemmy.
So, are you coming straight to the team or to the fans? Or
no, the question is for Arteta.
The
question is for Arteta. Is it a must-win season for Arteta?
Well,
win the league or win the Champions League?
Arteta has been with us for five seasons now,
right?
and we've
With
seen
one FA Cup.
with one FA Cup when nobody thought he would win it.
I want
Yes.
paper cup community.
Hold
shield.
on. I'm not going to even talk about community.
No,
shield.
I know somebody that will always put it.
No,
He's
no,
a
no,
Liverpool
no.
fan. He will always when we say it, he will always put community shield.
I
for
don't want
us
to put
know.
community shield. He won FA Cup in
Right.
less than 6 months when he took the job, and we saw what happened the first 3 seasons. You know, back to back. I think 8th and 7th position, and ever since then, he's been going. The trajectory has been like going upward, right? You know, back to back. Runner up in the league due to the fact that we have a mighty Manchester City and Pep, you know. But to me, if I would say the truth, you know, there's no how I want to caress it. He has to deliver for us right now, because he has to deliver us league title or the Champions League. Like I said, like last season or 2 seasons ago,
Right.
I'm not a fan that want my manager, I don't care who he is, to be winning FA Cup. We have 14 FA Cup titles already. Bro, as a fan, enough is enough. I don't want to be hiding under banter when other teams are telling me that they've won Champions League. I want to win Champions League. I want to celebrate it, and I also want to win EPL. So he has to deliver, and if he didn't deliver any of those two, I think it's high time we have to evaluate him again.
But some Arsenal fans will tell me, Mazi, that even if he's not winning the league, even if he's not winning the Champions League, we saw what's happening to Manchester United. No fan will want to be a Manchester United fan these days. But we see what Arsenal play on the team. I mean, on the pitch. We see what they do. We see the fight they put. I mean, this hope and this belief. Some Arsenal fans still believe we should still give Arteta more time, even without winning the league. That happened last season.
I mean, you have to be very ambitious. You understand? Like, you have to, at some point, the management has to say, is this his limit? Is this actually his limit?
What can you do? What else can you do?
Yeah, I mean,
Second.
we've seen, okay, let's look at Mancini. He won the league.
Right.
He did stuff right at Man City, but they wanted more. So they will go for something better, something they perceive is better. You have to have ambition. You have to keep seeking improvement. If Mikel has been telling you for 5 years that, okay, my methods are going to win you trophies, and his methods are falling short last minute, it doesn't matter if it's a Pep Guardiola, it doesn't matter if it's an Ancelotti. You have to find the solution. That's what the club cares about. But if you just want to be in the mix, I think even with Arsene Wenger, Arsenal was comfortable to just be in the mix. Like, oh, we are challenging. Yeah, we are top 4.
I remember that time.
Let me tell you something. If you look at where Arteta picked us from, the owner of the team will be proud of what he has achieved so far. I know it's not like he's winning us league and all that, but even look at when Klopp was with Liverpool. It's not easy for him to win the league back to back.
He won one league. He won a pandemic trophy. You know, after 30 years.
After 30 years, he won the league for them,
Champions League.
And while he was there, won EPL. Right?
He was also second. And who is winning when he was second? It was Manchester City. When Klopp was there, Manchester City won about 6 EPLs. Why didn't an experienced Klopp win 3 or 4? Rumor has it that Klopp ran away because of Pep Guardiola. I mean,
maybe he ran away because of Arteta.
The thing.
No, maybe he ran away because of Arteta.
Okay, I don't know.
But you know, the thing is that the way I look at it, you have a project at hand at a club. You know the job. Don't come and give us excuses about how hard the job is, bro. You could have stayed in Manchester City.
Who told you? Where did you hear?
No,
that
what I'm saying
was
is
complaining that the job.
No, like, I mean, if I'm the CEO or the president or owner of Arsenal or however they put it, I don't want to hear stories about I've tried. You know, the reason is that we put the project to you. We gave you our goals. We said we want to win titles. I don't think Arsenal at this point in time want to be satisfied with we are trying. We want titles. Okay, I can't deliver titles. I can give you 10 years. You have to be honest with yourself. Now, you took the job on the basis of I can deliver titles.
No. You were not there when he did interview, so don't give us a falsified story right now.
What's a falsified story? So why are you buying? Why is Arsenal pushing with another player?
Well, you are telling us that he told the board that he's coming to deliver title. I believe you are saying as if you were there with him during his interview. Nobody was there.
So there's no ambition.
But let me tell you.
Arsenal wire Arteta on the basis of
ambition.
Come and try.
No. He's gone there and he has taken the job ahead of other candidates. And I tell you as a fan, I've seen what he has done. Though he has not won us the title that we want him to win for us. But looking at how we play now, because during the later part of Arsene Wenger, Arsenal was shit.
I mean, if you even go to how you play right now,
I would
say you've gotten into the realm of desperation.
No.
Like you guys have gotten. We
are competing now. We are competing.
You are desperate now.
Now, let me ask you the question. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Before you can win a title, you have to compete. Yes or no?
I mean, you not compete for 5 years.
But I will tell you that that started 2 seasons ago, because when Arteta came to the team, he told them that it is a process. Either you want it or not.
Even in that process, let us call a spade.
This is a process. I have to clear the dead wood.
Arteta bought players like Nuno Tavares, right? He bought players that he has let go. Even in that process. So why is your process taking 5 years?
Pep let go of Calvin Phillips. Yes,
Pep's process did not take 5 years.
Because he has money.
It's not money.
They gave him money.
Arteta has money. Let me tell you something.
Our club is owned by an American owner, and we all know what they do.
All right. The reason why you think his money is because of the effect of how effective he was. If Arteta has been effective 2-3 years ago, people would have. If he's as effective now, people will still say it's money. We want effects. Don't give us excuses about people that Pep met at Manchester City. You have to evaluate them and say, okay, this one will leave, this one will stay, this one will leave, this one will stay. It's the same thing with Arteta. Arteta could have evaluated players, even players like Lacazette could have stayed, and you probably would have won a title with him. Players like Oba might have stayed, you would have won a title. So everybody is different. Everybody is a star. Everybody is a player. Don't say Pep's player. That's why I brought up the issue of Sterling, Zinchenko, Ferran Torres, all these people that you always say are star players. What are they now doing in your team? Why have you not won with them?
Because these are just, how many players have you mentioned? And none of these players won Champions League with Pep Guardiola. Point of correction. You said,
all right,
but they won multiple leagues. All right. Arteta won his league.
All right, guys. This episode is proudly sponsored by Better Life Stores. The CEO is here himself, and then Better Life is giving. You are part of our co-host, but Better Life said we give our co-host if they come to this podcast. So we have something for
better give me something,
something. So Better Life is an online flea market. So and then Mazi, just tell the fans about more about Better Life.
Yeah, Better Life. It's an online flea market. Okay. You find back to school items, household items, office items. You're looking for quick, items for your office, your homes. Check the website www.betterlifeusa.com and make your orders. Fast delivery, efficient service, everything. Thank you.
And also, this episode is also sponsored by Chill Clothing. I know you guys saw the merch I put on last week. Yeah, it's from Chill Clothing. You can also check them out on Instagram at Chill Clothing. And also Wale Habs is also part of our backbone on this podcast as well. A massive thank you to all the listeners and those that have been watching this and those that have been sharing with friends as well, that you are not selfish listening to this alone. Thank you very, very much. But when you watch again, don't forget to share, subscribe, and like. From me and all my co-hosts on this episode, I say a very big thank you to you. Mazi, thank you for coming. Bigdemmy, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I also want to say thank you to Better Life, and thank you to all the sponsors supporting the podcast. Thank you all out there. Have a nice week.
Cheers. Hope to see Bigdemmy again. Bye.